Welcome to Music and Medicine on Monday, a collaboration between the School of Music and the College of Medicine here at the University of Iowa. This podcast is designed to help musicians play and stay healthy. This video is supplemented with more written detail on the Iowa Protocols, which is a free medical website that you can resource at the QR code or the website address that is displayed. We're coming to you from the recital hall at the beautiful Voxman School of Music in Iowa City. My name is Harry Hoffman, and I'm a physician at the University of Iowa. Our featured guest performer today is oboist Lauren Carley. She's a senior at the University of Iowa School of Music, pursuing a Bachelor of Music in Oboe Performance and also a minor in Business Administration. Maybe we can discuss that field a bit more in the course of introducing Dr. David Cizak, the oboe professor at the University of Iowa, who also leads the Music Industry Studies program. As our medical expert, we have Dr. Ernie Found, who is an orthopedic surgeon here at the University of Iowa. I've known him for many years and consult him frequently for my orthopedic problems. Jane Brixon is an occupational therapist with a special interest and skill set in managing musicians. And she's done quite a bit, both with these programs and also through the university, with approaches that have gotten people to play and stay healthy. So our main focus on our first session will be medical, specifically orthopedic problems in playing the oboe. The second will be essentially the anatomy and physiology of the oboe as you explain all those little things that you push down and the nuances in your playing. Lauren, can you introduce the oboe to those of us who don't know the difference between a bassoon and an oboe?
So this one's an oboe, and it's definitely a lot smaller than a bassoon. But the one thing bassoon and oboe do have in common is they both have a double reed. And so this is the double reed for the oboe, and it makes a little pee-pee sound. And this reed, we actually, as oboists, we make them, we craft them ourselves. So there's a lot of hours making reeds at the reed desk and selecting the materials and crafting them so the vibrations are the way that us as musicians would like them to be. And so this helps control the pitch, so we can. So there's a lot of power in this small little reed that we have here. And the oboe is a woodwind instrument like the bassoon also. And with that, we use our air and respiration to power the sound. And we have a lot of keys, which covers holes in the wood that help make different pitches. And then there's a slightly bigger version of the oboe. This is the English horn. And so it's just a little bit bigger than the oboe. And while the oboe is in C, the English horn is in F. And the shape of the bell is a little bit different. This one is more bulb-like, and this one is more flat. And then this also has a bocal, which the bassoon also has a bocal, but a bigger one. But the English horn has like a little baby bocal.
What's a bocal?
The bocal is this silver part here that goes in between the top joint and the reed.
And we have Iowa yellow reeds. You'll notice we're flying our flag here.
All right, that's good. Good. That's terrific. Why, and maybe David can answer this, why, if you just have little holes, don't you leave it like a flute you put your finger over the holes?
In the history of the instrument, and it's like upstairs, I have a Rococo Baroque period oboe that really is just a stick with holes in it and a couple little keys. But over the years, what happens is we expect more complicated things to happen. So for example, if I want to play a high note, I want this key to go down. Well, I don't want to touch that key, so instead I have a different key with a different mechanism that holds that key down when I push a different thing. So it's kind of like having all of these interconnected systems that afford the ability to do multiple different things in different ways. And so when you see me press one key, there may be 6 or 7 other things happening across the instrument. So all the silver helps that happen. The other thing is when you have an open tone hold instrument like the bassoon, you have these open holes, you can physically feel it. We have none of that. We only feel silver. And so it's all the more important to have a fluid and gentle technique because we have cork and silver and we never actually touch the wood of the instrument. But the idea is these keys help us do more things than just pressing the standard holds down. And it should hopefully help us play better or more technically accomplished music.
And where does the sound come out?
The sound comes out throughout the whole thing. So if we're playing like a B, the sound would start coming out on the A tone hole, and then all the way down all the open ones.
And if it's coming out of the low B flat, everything is closed. So when I make that sound, the oboe will try to figure out how to play with all these harmonics and things, because now it's just a natural full board tube.
I was told that if you put a microphone at the end of a bassoon, it will sound pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's because of all the really nice notes and sounds are coming out through the sides through the open holes. Is that true except for a B flat?
Well, if you have a microphone on the end for a B flat, it's going to sound bad too, because it's going to be so loud, it's going to overwhelm you.
Yeah.
And so there's many different strategies for miking instruments, but oftentimes if you only had one, it can be helpful to have it just above the instrument so it can get a full range of what's happening. And you might mic different parts to get different partials or different sounds, kind of like a piano, if you really wanted to go that far.
Terrific. Are there some other things about the oboe you would want to share with us?
I think one of the important things I always like to tell students and kids is the oboe is very similar to what we do in our normal life. If we use our lips to vibrate, our lips are opening and closing through a process of compression and rarefaction. Well, when we talk, our vocal folds are moving. Low, high. What an oboe reed is in fact just like lips and vocal folds. The only thing is when your vocal folds and lips vibrate, you are vibrating. When you play the oboe, nothing you have is vibrating. You're playing little wooden reed vocal cords. But science tells us that the oboe reed literally opens and closes when we do that. And so I never learned that in school. It wasn't until I taught a music technology class and went, wow, that'd be really pertinent information to know. And it helps us think scientifically, but also just understand the system itself. But the oboe is not this. In essence, this is what makes the oboe special.
Well, I saw Lauren could change the pitch based on how she was pursing her lips and the distance that she was going up and down on the reed.
And that's one of the big aspects of my pedagogical principles is I have about 20 steps that help us understand every aspect of that, even on an X, Y, and Z axis of understanding how we respirate, how we move. So I try to be very technical, but that helps us be more expressive. And so a lot of times the oboe seems very mysterious. I don't like that. I want it to be understandable and logical and simple and straightforward, kind of like medical health. You want it to be logical and straightforward and not be magic. Well, you should get better. And so that's my goal when I'm teaching and communicating about the oboe, is being very clear.
Great. Well, Jane, Lauren, David, Ernie, thank you for a great performance and discussion with the presentation. Additional detail regarding this and other episodes of Music and Medicine on Monday can be accessed by visiting the Iowa protocols through the QR code displayed, our web address, or simply by searching on the web for Iowa Protocols, Music and Medicine on Monday.